Hey, welcome to Talk Wrestling here on the JEFF Meacham Network. Thank you all for watching. It is Monday, May 8th. Why is this stupid audio? What is playing that is so loud? Oh, it's a stupid tablet. Sorry, guys. It wouldn't be a JEFF Meacham Network project without a little bit of technical difficulties, would it now? Anyway, welcome to the show. Thank you guys for watching. I'm not sure what the pixelation is going on over here, so I apologize, but I guess we'll work on that another time. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Appreciate you guys being here. It is Monday, May 18th, 2020. We are on the final countdown to AEW's Double or Nothing 2 coming up this Sunday, or Saturday, I should say, down at Daly's Place in Bentonville. Of course, supposed to be in Vegas, but they can't be in Vegas because Vegas is shut down, as they should be. So just wanted to come on real quick and do my thing on a Monday, as I always do. That is really bad. Why is that so pixelated? I don't understand why that looks like that. And it really is bothering me that it looks like that. I don't want a virtual background. So let's see if that makes it go away. It did. Ha! I don't know why that was selected as a background. I didn't want a virtual background because I don't have a green screen yet. I'm working on that, for the record. But it's slow going, but I'm working on it. Kobe's here. Kobe was here a little early during the stream countdown, so thank you for Kobe and Kobe. This is from, let's see, Solvis. He says, did Shark Boy kidnap Shad Gaspard, or is God just really after pro wrestlers? I don't think it's either one. I think what happened with Shad, if it is indeed the worst, is a horrible, horrible thing. I hope they find him. It sucks. I'm really hoping they find him, whatever happened to him. So it's unfortunate. But, again, that's what happens when you think it's okay to break the quarantine, and it's not, because they open the beaches up here in California, and then a guy gets swept into the undercurrent, into the riptides. So, I'm not an "I told you so" guy, but if things aren't ready, things aren't ready. So there you go. Colin's here. What's up, brother? Colin. By the way, Aftermatch Wrestling on YouTube. Again, I may run the commercial today. I may not. Haven't decided yet. But you guys definitely check them out. Great shows every week. Colin has his own YouTube channel. Feel free to throw it up there in the comments, Colin. I'll plug the hell out of it. I'll throw it up there in the comments. So Bobby Dean is watching Great Balls of Fire. Well, God bless you, Bobby Dean. That's an ambitious endeavor on a Monday before Monday Night Raw. So good on you, brother. I'm going to do this over here because somebody's watching in the JEFF Meacham Network group, and I wanted to make sure that I am making myself aware of his existence. Mike's here on Periscope Twitter. Hello, Mike. I saw that you're officially in the group, Colin. So welcome officially to Team NoDQ. It's still mind-boggling to me that it was a little over 18 years ago that I got that email about starting a audio show with Aaron and his friend from high school. Just it's weird that I'm sitting here 18 years later, and we're still going strong. So there you go, nodq.com/Colin. I will leave that there for now. Actually, I'll do that one. You know what I will do? I wonder if I can't do that without. Can I copy it? Because that'd be super. I can't copy it. Okay, fine. Well, I'll leave it there for now. Anyway, so yeah, it is like I said, it's Monday. Monday Night Raw is a little under 55 minutes away. AEW this week is going to be the go home for Double or Nothing, and I don't know, but I think we're going to get into Double or Nothing tomorrow on the NoDQ.com YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that little piece of business. Wednesday on this channel, the JEFF Meacham Network, across the JEFF Meacham Network, I should say, in audio form, I should say, let me throw that out there, will be a watch-along with Greg Cherry and I. The poll is up on my Twitters and here in this group, the JEFF Meacham Network group on Facebook. So cast your vote. The voting ends, I believe, at 10 p.m. Pacific tonight. So get on in there and cast your vote. I think I know what's going to win, so I'm ready myself for a long afternoon or morning tomorrow. We're recording it first thing in the morning tomorrow to get it up Wednesday, so I have time to edit. It's a 3-hour show, so so it's going to be a long record and a long edit, but I do it because I love it. So there we go. All right, let's get into the questions. Seth Barnes wants to know, if WWE didn't dominate the landscape, what company would have from the territories? That is one of the more the word irrelevant is going to come off sounding really snarky and really like I think you're stupid. I don't. I just think that the WWE was going to be the only company that was going to do that. There was no plan B of any other territory, because the only reason the territories tried to compete is because Vince went national and ultimately global. Everybody else in the system was perfectly happy to stay, Crockett down in the southeast and, between, St. Louis and Baltimore. Vern was happy to stay in Minnesota and, parts of the upper Midwest, the Shires out here, in LA, and Don Owen in Portland, and, all those guys. Everybody was happy doing their thing, being on their own. There was no desire to break out into the national scene. And to his credit, Vince McMahon said, I can do that, and I will do that. And he did. And now he rules the world. So, you can't argue with a man's success. It's just he's consistently, and granted, the product is sluggish right now, and granted, people are just loving to crap on Vince McMahon and his product and his apparent lack of current awareness of his audience, but I'm a fan, and I respect. I said this some recording I did recently, and I respect Vince so much, and I try very hard not to crap on him these days, because it's it's an easy thing to do, right? All right, let's see what we got here. Ty Marshall wants to know my thoughts on Dark Side of the Ring. I love Dark Side of the Ring. I think it's a tremendous show. I've loved every episode this season. Granted, I knew pretty much the entire Dino Bravo stuff. Like, there wasn't any new information there that I didn't already know, right? Same with Herb Abrams, and I have a little inside track on that, to be fair. Knowing who I know, or knowing who I did know now. So it's still very cool to hear from the different people that were involved directly in the particular stories, or people that had a peripheral view of it, but still were involved in one way or the other. So I love the show. I am semi looking forward to this week's episode. I mean, it's Owen. Hearing about Owen is always hard, even 21 years later now. I mean, it's actually 21 years this weekend. 21 years on Saturday, which I noted when they announced the date for Double or Nothing 2 was the 23rd. I went, ooh, okay. There's bound to be something there then, because you got to figure those guys respect Owen as much as the fans do and as much as the WWE guys do. So there probably will be something on at Daly's place for Owen on Saturday, but we'll see. But as far as Dark Side of the Ring, again, I don't know what we're going to hear that we don't already know, because I've read Brett's book. I've read all it's, there's a lot of information out there that was, unfortunately for the Hart family and their grieving process, made very, very public. So we'll see what happens Wednesday night or Tuesday night, whatever. Looking forward to it, though. I love it. Wrestling Fan 98 is, I just skipped over the hell out of this question. Where'd it go? Come on, come back. Come back. Hello, Jeff. How are you? Did you watch Chapter 2 of the Undertaker series documentary? I did. I watched it the morning, like as soon as I knew it was up. Like I never to look at something else. I think I was doing King of the Ring homework or something, and I saw it. So click, there it went. And I've been saying on my dad for 2 weeks. He's the Undertaker fan in the family, more so than me, I dare say. And I cannot wait to sit down with him and watch those first 2 episodes because it's it's stuff we've never seen from Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, Michelle, Vince. Everybody that you would think you'd want to see is in these first episodes right away. Like it, I had a question posed to me. I don't know if it was on, it was in the group chat this morning on NoDQ about Vince's response to a question, and I likened it to his response about Andre on the Andre documentary that HBO produced, which I also recommend. Great stuff. Vince does not show Vince very, very often, as far as the guy, that steps away from the chair every now and again. And when you see that, it's like, wow, it really it messes with you, right? But it does show he is human after all, not some two-paid roboto. So I love it. I love the whole series. Cannot wait to see how it plays out. Let's see. Lots of comments on Undertaker, so we'll go with that. Yes, I did hear about Chad Gaspard. Nothing I haven't heard since this morning. So if things have changed, then let me know, because I don't know anything beyond him being caught in the underside current, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I know. Alyssa Stansberry, not feeling Monday Night Messiah, where my fight champion 2018, where Seth Rollins have IC. What? I don't understand what you're saying, Alyssa. I'm sorry. I need you to retype that out for me. I'm having a hard time making that out. Kobe wants to know if I think there'll be a Vince McMahon documentary. Well, they kind of did the DVD back in 2000. I think it was 6 or 7. May have been even later. I have it somewhere in here. It was kind of a documentary, kind of tongue in cheek, kind of a funny haha stuff. There was some stuff that you didn't hear before, but a lot of it was glossed over, grossly glossed. I mean, they treated the XFL. I don't think they mentioned the XFL at all. If they did, it was very brief. Not one mention of the WBF. Not one mention of a lot of stuff that you'd want to hear about. And there's things that happened since then that I'd want to hear about, right? So I hope there'll be another documentary, a full on, this like Undertaker, this style documentary on Vince, but it may very well be after he passes away. I don't know. By the way, I want to thank my buddies Tina, Danielle, and JJ for watching on Facebook, especially Danielle, because she's not a wrestling fan. So God bless you for being here. I love you for that. Thank you, D. Restaurant 98. What do you think of Drew Gulak being released? Do you think he'll come back or go to AEW? From what I've read, he's expressed a want to come back. I know that the release was a surprise. It was a surprise to me. It really was. I had not known it was coming down, especially since they just brought in his old tag team partner, Timothy Thatcher. I was just dreaming for a pairing between the two of them. So maybe he'll get brought back, and they'll team with Thatcher. I hope. We'll see. I hope. Because I like Gulak and I like Thatcher. And they're both great. Obi, your question was answered, I believe, either on the NoDQ review a couple weeks ago or on one of my shows in the last couple weeks. So I invite you to go through the archives and check out Talk Wrestlings and Ask Me Anything. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned my choices for Dark Side of the Ring Season 3. And if I didn't, and you come back next week, then I will go for it in detail, okay? There you go. Seth Barnes wants to know my favorite Hulk Hogan match of all time. Oh boy. Well, there have been quite a few that I've enjoyed over the years. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but because I don't sugarcoat my Hulkamania status, because Hulkamaniac status, I should say, because I am unapologetic when it comes to the Hulkster, and he's done stupid shit, and we all make mistakes. We're all human beings, right? So that's just the way I feel. I love Hulk to pieces. My favorite match probably is off the top of my head, I'll say the one with The Rock at WrestleMania. And only because it was such a pure, organic moment of him shedding not only the heel that he had been in WCW toward the end, but also shedding the baggage that he'd carried back with him and that he'd taken away from the WWE 9 years prior, right? He left WWE with a lot of shit carrying with him, and he came back, and it was like it was 84 all over again. People they love him so much, and to see Toronto just embrace him and bring the Hulkster back was something I will never ever forget. My favorite Hulk Hogan moment, there are two. One was seeing him get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. It was an amazing experience. I had my best friend by my side. I had my red and yellow Hulkamania shirt underneath my suit. I dressed up for Halloween for the Hall of Fame because it's a ceremony. Damn, you should do the thing. And I cried as much as Big Show cried. It was that cool. It was that amazing. And of course, meeting him just a little over 10 years ago. Still my number one wrestling fan meet and greet experience to this day. And that's going to make some people upset, but there's a lot of reasons behind the reason that's number one, just besides the fact that it's Hulk. Colin, I've not watched a lot of AEW, I'll be honest with you, in the last month or so I'm not sure what's going on storyline-wise, so I can't make an educated guess on who the mystery ninth person will be. So keep that in mind. JJ wants to know who I think would have won in a match between Hogan and Cena. Based on when John Cena was brought up and when Hulk was still actively involved wrestling, I will say probably they probably would have booked Cena to win. And I only say that because they booked Shawn to lose because they wanted to give Hogan that feel-good moment. And I think that Hogan losing to Cena would have been the definitive passing of that torch from the golden age to the modern age, right? Grant, I already answered about Chad. I've mentioned Chad at least twice in the last 20 minutes, so I'm not. You guys got to be here on time. It's 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock every Monday. I very rarely late, so there you go. Let's see. I skipped a few questions here, so let's. All right, let's try this again, Alyssa. Let's see. Not feeling Seth Rollins as the Monday Night Messiah. To me, jeez. I think she's trying to say that she's not feeling the heel turn of Seth Rollins. She misses when he was the Intercontinental Champion 2 years ago. I agree, but I do like the Monday Night Messiah. I didn't like Monday's presentation last week. That was kind of hokey. But I do like the presentation overall of the Monday Night Messiah right now. So there you go. Seth Barnes, do I think Hulk Hogan dissed Bret Hart by not dropping the title to him at SummerSlam, or is Bret better? Yes, to both. I think Brett holds on to everything, and I think he has for a long time. But I do think that Hulk did him dirty by not at least having the match with him in the summer '93, right? It could have made serious money. SummerSlam could have been a huge. I mean, think about it. We ended up with Luger and Yokozuna, right? And then Brett faced Lawler in a undisputed King of the Ring match. Like, that was the stupidest shit. Brett versus Hulk would have drawn serious money, and had Hulk had the foresight of what Brett could have been, and dropped the title to him at SummerSlam, it would have made Brett a made man. It would have made Hulk look good in the eyes of the boys, and it would have done serious business. So I think Hulk dissed himself as much as he dissed Brett by not dropping the title to him at SummerSlam, because him not doing that and then dropping the title to Yokozuna just made his exit completely lame. It was bogus. So there you go. All right, let's see who we got here. Another what if. Ty Marshall, who would have won in the match, Kurt Angle or Bret Hart? Kurt Angle. As much as Bret Hart was a solid character and a solid technical wrestler in the WWF, and even a decent amateur wrestler in his prior to his pro wrestling career, Kurt Angle is an Olympic gold freaking medal winner in freestyle wrestling around the world. He's a global champion. He would have tied Brett up like a pretzel and made him tap like a drunk man. It's as simple as that. So there you go. Brandon says he would have liked to see Shamrock back at an old school Raw. I don't know why, but I have a feeling there's bad blood between Shamrock and WWE right now. So that's why we haven't seen him come back. And that's why he's been more involved with Impact lately in the last year or so than he was before. So there you go. Let's see. Is Charlotte on TV too much? Says Jimbo462. Not for my money. I love me some Charlotte, so I can never get into that Charlotte Flair. Are they overexposing her? Possibly, but yeah, remember that they just lost Becky for at least a year, if not more. So they have to go with what works, and they know Charlotte works. So Kobe wants to know my opinion on the best promo in WWE in the last 5 years. So that's going back to WrestleMania 2015. Oh, the best promo in the last 5. You know what? Debated that in the chat room. I'll come back to that one. The Leaf Chairman wants to know of my opinion on this faction: Mr. Perfect, Ricky Steamboat, British Bulldog, and Roddy Piper. That is my SummerSlam 91 starter kit, I guess. I don't know those guys beat us SummerSlam 91. I like the idea of a faction, but those four guys don't mix like at all. Perfect at the time that those guys were all in their same prime. Perfect was an arrogant, cocky ass heel. Ricky Steamboat was the ultimate white meat, never do wrong babyface. British Bulldog was a power wrestler with a limited skill set at best, at least back then. And Roddy could go back and forth between a babyface and a heel, but nobody could touch him on the mic. So I don't think that whole thing meshes well. Does that make any sense? WrestleMania 78 wants to know when I think WWE will begin allowing fans into the shows, and when will they return to holding their shows in arenas? There had been talk about them running stadiums or arenas with social distancing protocols in place, like AEW's talking about doing for stadium shows. So it is imminent. It is a matter of When, not if. Hopefully soon. So there you go. I'm saying Bayley Charlotte will be good if Sasha doesn't interfere on SmackDown. I think Sasha needs. I think that's the whole. We need to see that. We need to see Bayley and Charlotte be interfered on. That way, Sasha gets involved in the mix, and Sasha ends up challenging Bayley at SummerSlam, whether it's in Boston or not. That's the match I want to see at SummerSlam: is Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Championship. And yeah, I do see one of them turning on the other. Kybra 37, Kybra 37, whatever it says. Sorry about that. Just botched your name to hell. I want to see Sasha and Bayley turn and just go to town. Grant Peebles wants to know my favorite RVD match. RVD Jerry Lynn. I have an entire 7-disc set sitting right up there with their entire ECW match history. Take your pick. Personally, my favorite RVD match is RVD John Cena, because he won the world title, and that was very cool to see my friend win the world championship on that stage. It was very, very on his own stage. So there you go. When the wrestler, Jesus Christ, Meacham. I'm gonna take a break. Speaking in tongues here. Do I have a commercial loaded up? I do. Yay! We'll be right back. All right, very good. All right, let's try that again. When the rosters reunite again, hypothetically, how many championships should there be, and what specific championships? Please answer in depth. Well, yes, sir. 1 world championship, the WWE Championship. 1 mid-card title, the Intercontinental title. The Women's Championship, take either one, but unify them like Becky did. Although she defended them separately, but you know what I mean. Either tag title is fine. Both lineages are good, so I'm good either way. But it definitely should be one of each. As far as that, I don't think, as much as I've enjoyed NXT getting that status of we are a third brand of WWE, I think it's a mistake to not keep them the developmental level and continue to grow new stars and keep the championship separately. So I would have, if the rosters come back together, I would have it be Raw and SmackDown be coming together. NXT stay separated. So there's that. JJ, is Charlotte Flair becoming the female John Cena? Jay, that's a damn good question, and I'm glad you bring that up because I've heard that a lot, not just from you, but from a lot of different people. In terms of number of championships in a short amount of time, definitely she's in that same group as Randy and John and WCW changes period toward the end. It's very very back and forth. She's winning a lot. I honestly think they're using her way too much. And again, I mentioned this earlier. They just lost Becky to the expectancy. So again, they're having to go with what they know works. So we're in with Charlotte for the long haul, but I do worry that it's going to be long term. It's going to have an effect on the fans' opinion of her. So hopefully I'm wrong in that assessment. So we shall see. Should there be 4 championships on a reunited WWE main roster? I think maybe not 4, maybe 3. Maybe one singles, one tag, one women's. Right? Kind of like Bischoff tried to do his GM when he was in 2002. So it's a good point, though. Grant Peebles, what's on my favorite NXT title match? Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano, I think from Mania weekend is the one I'm thinking of. That was the best one. That was a damn good match. We have talked at length about the SmackDown Hacker on the NoDQ review. I, again, invite you to go over to NoDQ review at nodq.com, youtube.com/NoDQ, and check out our answers, because we went elbows deep on the Hacker on SmackDown. So by all means, go check that out. It's gonna be good stuff. It's worth a watch for sure. JJ again, should WWE and even AEW put the unbooked talent for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, etc. into the audience, so there is at least the illusion of a live crowd? AEW is doing that, Jay, to a certain extent. I know you're not watching full time, so you wouldn't know the answer to that. But the guys on TNT are actually in the audience, kind of, woofing up a little bit. Vince is taking the opposite stance. He's honestly just wiping the crowd slate, if you will, clean, and not everybody there. So should they? I don't think they should, honestly. I think if you're going to go quarantine, go quarantine. Don't have a mixed standard for different companies. It's not a good look, personally. All right. What if it was Taker that turned on the WWF instead of Austin to invasion angle? I like that, Colin. It would be honestly, it was unexpected that Steve did it. I mean, really, because he got fired over the phone over FedEx, grabbing a damn knee. But Undertaker would have been an interesting dynamic, because it had been over 10 years since he got his release from WCW to go to the WWF. So very, very good question. I would have liked to have seen that. And honestly, seeing as how the Undertaker ended up turning heel after Survivor Series that year and went into the big evil mode, I wonder what would have happened if he turned during the invasion, and that's how it ended up, that the WWF won, and that's how he got his job back, was kissing the boss's ass. That would have been cool. It would have been a unique dynamic to the Undertaker biker character. Very, very cool. HBK Styles, yes, I do think there are too many championships in WWE. Without question. And again, it should be one champion, one tag team champion set, and one women's champion on. If they're going to be separate brands, then that's fine. But, it's too many damn cooks in the kitchen. Ty Marshall wants to know my favorite SummerSlam match of all time. Oh, there's so many. I've been to so many. John Cena, Daniel Bryan. There. Said it. Mean it too. I do mean that, because it was a beautiful moment. Larry's here. Hi, Larry. I just noticed that you were. I don't know if you're still there, Larry, but hi. Nice to have you along for the ride. God help you. Wrestling Fan 98. Did WWE drop the ball with Damian Sandow? I think he was a great talker and his character was different. Yes. They did not do right by Aaron Stevens at all. Horribly booked. Long term, anyway, I should say. Didn't work out the way that it should have worked out. He is funnier than hell on the NWA Power show, along with a question mark. He's an amazing character on that show. He's just great, and I cannot emphasize enough how talented that dude is, and he's getting an opportunity, and he's awesome. So there you go. Jimbo462, funny thing, WWE won't comment on coronavirus, but John Cena does a commercial for Hefty about Corona. Well, you got to remember, John Cena is a peripheral talent. He's on the fringe. He's not full-time roster anymore. So he can't. He's allowed to. So he's not going to, shy away from making that money, right? Grant Peebles, how much longer do you think ROH will be around, and where do they stand in the battle between AEW, WWE, NWA, and Impact? I don't think Impact's in the hunt. Let me start off by saying that. Again, I have not watched Impact except one show, the show that Tessa won the championship, and the follow-ups after that. I kind of went in and out. I have not sat down and actively watched Impact since well before Hulk left. Okay? Let me be clear there. But I don't hear a lot about Ring of Honor. And I don't know if that's just the sites I go to not reporting on it or whatever, but Ring of Honor's lack of anything going out there indicates either they're keeping quiet or they have something planned that they're not sharing, or they're in trouble more than even we've been led on to believe. So we shall see. I don't know. Rusev head of the NWA, Jimbo wants to know. Sure. I mean, it's not out of possibility. He's a great talk. He's a funny character. I say why not? That'd be cool to see. K Carball 37. Is there heat between WWE and Roman Reigns? We also talked about this last week on the show, on the NoDQ review, or whatever it was, 2 weeks ago when I was on. It was 2 weeks ago. I don't think there is. I think that's been blown up in the media by certain people that think they know more than they know to get clickbait, to get hits on their website. So, no, I don't think there is. I think that it's blown way out of proportion. Just Kyle Mahaffey's on. Hello, Kyle. Thank you for watching. Kyle's an old buddy from the definitely the Canyon days, maybe even the Mitchell days. That's a long time to know somebody. It's a little scary. Just saying. All right, we will be right back right here on Talk Wrestling. This taping is so slow when it comes to coming back from a commercial. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Brandon Dvorak. Do I think Aaron Stevens will turn on the question mark? Also, karate. There you go. Yes, I do. I think it's inevitable that Aaron turns because Aaron's very selfish, and Aaron will inevitably get a little too big for his own britches and end up costing himself a lot. 18 years ago today, we lost a British Bulldog. Yes, I had mentioned that to a friend earlier. It's scary because I think I only remember it's 18 years because it was shortly after Davey passed that I got the email from Aaron to start my journey, if you will, that I've been on. So yeah, 18 years since Davey passed. That's crazy. Ty Marshall, if any former AEW, it's Zack Ryder. That would not surprise me one damn bit. I know Cody and Zach are good friends, so I'm all about it. Absolutely. Wrestling 1998 wants to know, says, is Daniel Bryan wasting his time in the mid-card with Nakamura, Zayn, and Cesaro? Shouldn't he be in the main event scene, fighting for the universe title? I feel he is wasting his time. Yeah, remember, Bryan was in the main event scene longer than A, we expected him to be, B, longer than we even realized. He was in the main event picture pretty much for 4 years before he ultimately had to retire the first time, like when he went away for a couple years. Because he won the World Heavyweight Championship from the Big Show in late 2011, and then it was the Intercontinental title he ended up vacating to retire, but he held that, and by the summer of 2015, so it was almost 4 years he was actively involved in major championship picture. Granted, he was off for almost a year with the injury after WrestleMania 30, but he was still involved, right? So Bryan is not John Cena. Bryan is not The Rock, Triple H, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? Kurt Angle, toward the end of his WWE career the first time. Bryan is the type of wrestler that can win the world championship, and then it doesn't seem like a slight that he's Intercontinental Champion, U.S. Champion, Tag Team Champion. If he drops the weight enough, Cruiserweight Champion. Bryan Danielson, for my money, is still top 3 or 4 best wrestlers on this planet. So, I don't think he's being wasted. I think he's doing. If he felt he was being wasted, he would not sign anymore and he would walk away. So, Helper Stu, we mentioned Drew Gulak earlier, so I invite you to watch the show on demand after we're done today and get your answer about Mr. Gulak. And then Brandon, have to choose one to run your company: Vince Russo or Jim Cornette? How many bullets are in that gun? No. God. See, that's so hard. Again, I have respect for both guys, despite what the common thread among people that watch me is. I enjoy Vince Russo's stuff. So I don't know why that's not showing. There we go. God, that is way behind there. Holy smokes. There we go. Okay. If I've got a gun in my head, I have to pick. I go with Jim Cornette. I only say that because Jim Cornette will at least keep the rudder in the water. Vince will steer us off trying to use a jet ski to power a yacht. So it'll be batshit crazy. Jimbo, I'm going to leave your question here. I don't feel that's appropriate. Nyla identifies how she identifies. And the management of AEW chooses to acknowledge her as she is. And I don't feel it's wrong. I don't. Big G's in the house. Thank you, Big G, for coming in. I know you're a busy man, and Colin's here. He's busy as well. So there you go. Thank you guys both for being here. Much, much, much appreciation for all the peoples. I love all my peoples being here. Kings A_G just got here. Have you spoken about? I have spoken about Chad. Yes. Again, watch on demand by all means. I've not heard anything more than this morning. So if there's been news, again, if you guys are out there in the chat room and you've heard more since noon Pacific about Chad Gaspard, please fill me in because I don't know. Big G rearranged his room today. You know what? You guys can't see because it's all here, but this room has been completely gutted as far as purging things out of here. So it's a world of difference in here. Resident 98 says, who should Triple H's very last match be against, or have we seen the last Triple H already? I don't know. Every time I think I can say it's safe to say Triple H is retired or done wrestling, he's back in the ring. So, if he were to have one more if it was one more big match, I would say, God, On the roster now, or in this, in the area of the roster now, I would say there's probably one more really good battle between him and Orton left to be done. I know that sounds like, oh my god, again, but I'd like to say it one more time. Why not? Thoughts on the Undertaker and the 15-year deal he signed with WWE? Oh, didn't know he signed. That's cool. He's a lifer. There you go. I think you're asking my worst promo ever, Grant. The worst promo ever was Scott Steiner in WCW in 2000. Look it up, February 2000, and his math promo in TNA. Jeez, just awful. Triple H versus Michael Cole needs to happen, or Adam Cole. I think you mean Adam Cole, Michael Cole. That'd be cool to see too, right? I'd love to see Adam Cole and Triple H. That'd be awesome. That would be so cool. I would dig it. Two, I wasn't a fan of Jimmy's comments against Dana, and you know what? But Dana's response wasn't very mature either. It's you said this, I said it's high school drama bullshit. It's stupid. The whole thing is just stupid. So, Triple H and Brian would be good too. Wrestling 98. I'd love to see Brian and Triple H go one more time. I'd pay money for that. I really would, because they always had great stuff, and their feud overall was damn good. In 2014, it just doesn't get near enough credit. So, okay, want to run one more commercial here before we get back into the thing. Now, this is next Friday, but it's actually this Friday. Okay? Keep that in mind as you watch this. There you go. Jimbo, worst Raw match ever. Marcus Bagwell and Booker T. Jackie and Chris Nowinski against Trish and Bradshaw was worse than Booker and Bagwell. I'm not kidding. I did not see Jim Cornette's comments about Becky Lynch. It probably doesn't even warrant a response. As creative a mind as Jimmy Cornette is, his views on 2020 in general are antiquated and very sexist and very inappropriate. But he's very creative with wrestling. He has no people skills. So there you go. That's just the way that is. So and he's been like that for a long time. So there was a reason there was controversy when he was called to induct the Rock and Roll Express in the Hall of Fame, because people did, he had to be toned way down when they made that call. So there you go. That's just long and short of it. So I don't like that question earlier between Russo and Cornette doing my booking, running my company. It was just like, oh my god, I can't probably see either one of them having any sort of control over my brand. I'd get sick. Well, I'm not a fan of your screen name. This has been a horrible year, but having Dad's back makes it even more exciting. Great to see you and JJ back together. Thank you. It has been very rewarding to have JJ back on the team, on my team, not even on the he's on the JEFF Meacham Network team, which I think is wonderful. He and I had an amazing partnership on the old Casa channel. We bled off each other very well. There was some personal shit that got involved, as it does with two alpha males. It's, I'm right and he's right. It just is what it is. So it's just nature of that beast. But we've been able to come back together because A, we're taping less. B, we're deviating away from the wrestling every other show, which is good because it gets JJ more involved, which I am all about my friends being involved as long as they stay, uh, on the good side of the ginger bear, if you will, because there are people from my past who will not be welcome on my channel. They can't seem to keep my name out of their mouth without a bad taste in it, so I choose to just keep them away. And that's just the way it has to be. JJ and I, we had our disagreements, and we still do. A lot of our stuff, is just, again, alpha males being right. And but I think Jay recognizes that I'm able to cultivate the brand better than I ever have. And I think the last 6 months, or almost 6 months now, 5 months, excuse me, have been very eye-opening for a lot of people in my circle. And my extended family is among that circle of people. I've been doing this 18 years, and it's just now starting to become a feasible means of doing anything. And I think people are going, huh. So it's very cool. I enjoy it. I enjoy the fact that that's happening in my circle of friends. It's very, very cool. So I think that's a good way to end the show. I think that was a great question, and I appreciate it. So let me throw it out there right now. First of all, let me take those down. And let me tell you that, of course, you can find me on YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, you know where I'm at. Same with Twitter and Periscope and the Facebook group and facebook.com/Jeff Meacham. You can also find us on Anchor, and you'll see that at the very end of the show. You can also support the Jeff Meacham Network on Teespring at teespring.com/stores/Jeff-Meacham-Network. Twilight Shift on Teespring stores as well. He's the guy that designs my shirts. My friend of, oh God, I've known Greg Clifton since 1980, or it's not 1990, so 30 years this year. Matter of fact, I met him in second grade, and it was in second grade that I really discovered professional wrestling. So he and I share multiple kinships, and I miss seeing him on a regular basis. So don't forget, if you missed it last week, the NoDQ.com Wrestling Trivia Challenge is back. We've been back for 3 episodes now. We've got one more coming up a week from Friday, so stay tuned for that. And I suppose that will do it for this week on Talk Wrestling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I can't express enough how much it means to me that you guys still find me relevant after almost 2 decades. It's very touching. All right, Brandon, you caught me here. I can back in the chat room real quick. Pritchard or Heyman? Heyman. Without question. But I might have Bruce on the team either. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.